Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Great. All right, it's 10 o'clock, so we're just going to jump straight into it. Let me share my screen. Keep in mind, let's lay some ground rules. First and foremost, if you can mute yourself, that'll be great so that we don't have background feed while I'm showing the material that we're going to go over today. And secondly, if you have questions, use the chat area in Zoom to post your questions. Don't wait till the end before you ask questions. Just post your questions there. When I'm done with the material, I'll go over each of the questions and then I'll do further demonstration based on the questions. And last but not least, if you have suggestions, you can always send me an email. I'll post my email at the end of the presentation for suggestions, feedback, and also questions and clarifications that you need. All right. So let me first make sure that everybody's on mute. If not, I can put everybody on mute. Hold on a second. All right. Not everybody is on mute. Okay, let me mute all. And then let's start. So my name is Jeff. I'm part of the InfoView team. We at InfoView, we are a technology company. Specifically, we only deal with technology for schools. So most people will call it EdTech, Educational Technology Company. We are based in East Legon, Adrigana area, or more specifically, Marjo or West Trasaco. If you want to look us up, here's our website, www.idscorpgh.com. If you go there, you can find more about us, or you can go on our Facebook page, facebook.com/infoview.data. Okay, that's just a little bit about us. What we do is we help schools, mostly private schools, to use technology in school management and learning. Okay, so some of our customers, a few of our customers here, and mostly our application allows you to do any of these functions, from communication, preschool management, finances, which is your payroll, everything, staff management, which is staff attendance, inventory, all of that. We put that in an application that you can carry in your pocket. Okay, the application works by communicating information to all stakeholders, teachers, parents, and even students, if you have secondary students, where any information you want to communicate from the school, staff can put information in the school app, which is InfoView Sims, and the information goes to the parent or the student in all of these communication channels through a mobile app for the parent or the student, through text messages. If a parent doesn't have a smartphone, they get information text messages. Parent has email, they get information email. If you want to print it, you can still go analog and print that and give it to parents, okay? So that's a little bit about us. So if you're on a Windows machine, you have multiple options. Some of you may be using Windows Edge, which comes with Windows. It's pretty much your browser, okay? Your internet browser, Windows Edge, or you may be using Mozilla or Firefox or whatever, but I use Chrome. So any web browser on your computer can do what I'm about to do, all right? And the tool that we're gonna be focusing on is also a free tool, which is Google G Suite, okay? So what is G Suite? Think of Microsoft Office, all right? Microsoft Office that you buy and put on a computer to use to write documents. You have Excel to use to crunch your financial data, do some financial analysis. You have PowerPoint, all right? That's Microsoft version of Office Productivity Suite. Google also have one, all right? And the Google one is called G Suite, all right? So one of the things in the G Suite application or package is called Google Forms. That's what we are going to be doing a lot. And then we're going to also use Google Sheet. So think of Google Forms as one of the applications in the Google suite of tools. And then we are going to use another one in the same Google tools called Google Sheet. So those are two different applications, and I'll show you both. So to start, I'll go first I'll say Google, and I'll say Drive, okay? Before you can access any of the Google tools that I'll be using, you need to have a Google account, a Gmail account, all right? Creating a Gmail account is free. So really, you don't have any problem. Just go online, go to, let me say, Gmail account, okay? And then you just create Gmail account. When you create a Gmail account, that will give you access to the Google Suite and Google Drive, all right? So since I already have a Gmail account, I'll skip that process and go to Google Drive, and I'll say just put in Google Drive. And when I put in Google Drive, I'll click on sign in because I already have a Gmail account. Now, the reason why it takes me straight to this Google Drive without asking me to sign in is because I already logged in. So first, let me log out and sign out, and then I'll sign in, go through the process again. So I'll click here, and then I'll go here. I'll say Google Drive, okay? Let me put Google Drive here so I can get the sign in. Oh, go to Google Drive here. All right, so now I'll log in with my account, and then I'll put in my account password. So I'm putting my password, and now that'll log me into my Google Drive. Okay, so now that I'm in Google Drive, this is where all the action happens. All right, so I need to first create, let's say I want to create lesson material. Instead of using Microsoft Word, you can use a tool here called Google Docs, okay? When you create Google Docs, that allows you to create the document, okay? So here I can type, I can say instructions for instructions. I hope you guys can hear me. Let me make sure my mic is on. If it's not on, let me confirm that. Yes, my mic is on. Instructions for lesson on week 1. Okay, and then you can type or whatever you want. You can type it in this document. And here, once you have the document, and then you can save the document. Click here where it says entitled, untitled document, and I'll name it instructions for lesson 1. Once I have named the document, I can choose to share this document with parents or with students. And how I share that is by clicking on this where it says share on the upper right corner here, share. When I click on that, if I have the parents' email addresses, okay, I can put all the parents' email addresses here. But what I've learned is, unfortunately, this part of the world, we don't use email intensively. So the other option you have is you click on this link here where it says advanced, okay? Click on advanced, and that opens up more sharing options. And what you're going to do is that here you see the lock thing on it where it says private. Only you can access. I want to change that and make it easily accessible to anyone who even doesn't have an email address so that they can access the document. And I can click on change, and then I can say, instead of saying off specific people, I'll change that and say on anyone with link, okay? On anyone with link means that anyone that I send the link to can click on the link of this document and can access the document, okay? Don't select this one that says public. If you select public, that means that anyone on the internet, without even you sending them the link, can access your document. You don't want that. You want this one. On anyone with link. You click save. And what I'll do is that I'll then copy this link. Okay, I'll copy is I right click on this link. It says link to share. And I click copy. And I click done. Now that means that this document is now accessible to anyone that I send the link to. Okay. And then what I'll do is that I'll send this link to parents. So I can send this link through WhatsApp, I can send this link through email, or I can send this link through the InfoView application. So in this case, I'll use our application to send a link. And what I'll do is that I'll switch to the InfoView application, okay? And then I'll log in to my phone. I have my phone connected to my computer. So I'll switch to the InfoView application, and then I'll say that I want to share this link. What I've done already, by the way, is that I took some of you on this meeting. These are your contacts, email and phone number. I took some of your name and contact, and I added it to a student named Samoa Anson. Okay, so you are a parent of Samoa Anson. So any message, this link that I'm sending to Samoa Anson's parents, you will get it. Some of you will get an email. So I'll switch to classroom management, and then I'll switch to notification here. Click on that, and then I'll select my class that I want to share this link for. And the class is sales class. And it shows me all the students in sales class. I'll select that I want to send the link to all parents and students in this class. And then I'll select that this is just an assessment. And I'll put a subject. I say this is, say, computing. And then I'll say that this is due today. And then I'll copy the link and paste it here. So this is the Google Drive link, okay, that I copied from Google Docs. So now when I click OK and I click send, this document, sorry, it will say that the application will say, you're about to send a message to the selected students. Are you sure you want to send? I say yes. Now that means that this document will be sent through SMS, okay, to parents through email, through an app, all right? So that's one way. The other way also is that I can send the same link through WhatsApp. So I can go here and I can go to my WhatsApp page and I can post my link here. And then I can send this link through WhatsApp. All right, so you have multiple ways to send in the document. Okay, and as you can see, when I post the link here, it says instructions for week 1. And when I click send, all of those in the group will automatically get that document. All right. Okay, so that's the first step. All right, that's using Google Doc. So I'll close this. And the next thing that I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you how to create homework or class exercise and send the class exercise to parents and students so that they can do the class exercise online. And then also show you how the teacher can, or the school can review the exercises online and then record grades for those students. All right. So how, I want to show you the end product, all right? How it's going to come out. That's what I want to show you first. And then I'll go back and then show you how I created such a document or such an exercise. So here is an example, grade 4 math. I'll open that. This is an example of grade 4 math that's graph based, okay? Sorry, grade 7 math, which is graph based. So it has the student ID. So when the student is doing the homework, they have to put their ID here. And they have to put their name. And then it has question 1, and the question 1 is a graph equation, okay? It says y equals -6. So the student will look at this equation and then go to their graph book and then manually draw the graph in their graph book, okay? Student will look at question 2, y equals brackets -9/5x plus 2. The student will go into their graph book and manually graph it in their graph book, etc., etc. Once the student is done, then you see the answer option here for each of these questions. It says file add or add file, okay? That means the student or the parent would take their phone, take a picture of each of the graphs that the student drew in their graph book, and then upload for each of these questions. So the teacher will get a graph answer back in the form of pictures, all right? That's one option. Another example of an exercise that I want to show you is an English comprehension exam. This one is actually also has the student ID, the student name, and then it has a story. The student have to read the story. This is the story, right? The student reads the story, which is the gingerbread man and the fox. Once the student is done reading the story, then the student will type their corresponding answers to each of these comprehension questions. Is what happened to the beginning, what happened at the beginning of the story, who was the gingerbread man, write down 3 characters, etc. All right, this is another type of question that I will demonstrate how to create such question online. The last one I want to show you is a mixture. All right, here is it's a mixture of questions, and here is an example. It's math, drawing, and then English homework. Question 1 is a math question. I mixed it up where I have a graph-based question. The student have to draw the graph. The second question, and this is a preschool type of question, right? You can send a banana, an image of a banana, and tell the parent, let the child draw this picture of banana and color it, and then take a picture and send it back. Another type of question, this is again a comprehension question, but this time I mixed up the questions a little bit. You have the student type in their answer here, and then it's also a multiple choice question where the student will select multiple choice. So you get the point. There are different types of questions that I've mixed together. Just to illustrate to you the capability, the options and the flexibility of this technology, what you can do with it, all right? So I will start a new form, a new Google form, and then show you how I created this, all right? So I go here in my Google Drive, and then in the upper left corner here, you see a plus sign that says new, all right? I'll click on the plus sign, and then what I'll do is that I will scroll down, and now you see more, M-O-R-E, more. When I put my mouse on it, it comes up with additional applications, and the one that we are going to use is Google Forms, all right? So I'll click on Google Forms, and now it opens a blank Google form. Great, so what do we do here? So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a homework that's, again, similar to this one. That is a mixture of different types of questions, all right? So that you get the point in terms of how to do this. So I'll name this, I'll say drawing. No, I'll say actually preschool question, primary question, and I'll put JHS question example. So here, I'm going to mix 3 types of questions, a preschool type of question, right? And a primary type of question, and a JHS type of question. All right, so this, and I'll put a description. This is an example of the different types of questions you can create using Google Forms. All right, so I've put in a description here, all right? And now I have to add my questions. So the first question that I'll add is the preschool type of question. So I will, you see here, I already have question here. So I'll click on it, and then put the description is there. I'll say example of preschool question, right? Now, preschool questions or preschool exercises are all about drawing and coloring and phonics and matching of the sound, etc. Okay, so I will add a question here. I think yesterday I saw one preschool question. I Googled it and I saw it. So let me Google it right now. Preschool phonics question. I'll Google that and look at here, worksheets. Here's an example, and I'll just take one example from here. This is I want something that's more drawing based. So I'll find a different one. Phonics drawing question. And let's say I click on this. This gives me an image. Okay, so I'll take this one. I won't steal it. I'll borrow it. I'll save this question that I want to save, send to parents. So I'll save as image, put here, and on my desktop. And then I'll go back here to my question. So I'm gonna send a preschool type of question to my parents. And you see next to this, you see this small thing here. It's called an image. It's an image icon. It allows you to upload images. So I'll click on that. And then the image that I just borrowed from another website, I'll select that image, which is this one. Okay, I'll select that and then I'll upload it. And when I upload it, it will now show it here. So you get the point. So now you see here, it says example of preschool question. And here is the example. Sample letter sounds, CVC word, can you copy the word? And then here, at the bottom here, you see that says option. I want to give the answers that I want the parent to respond back to this preschool question is, I want the parent to upload an image of what a child actually did. Okay, so in this scenario, what the parent would do is that the parent can trace this in an exercise book and let the child do it and then take a picture of it and upload a response back. Okay, or the parent can print this and let the child do it on the printout version. So the in response that I want the parent to provide is an image. So here you see multiple choice. I'll click on that and change that to file upload. What the file upload means is that I want the parent to upload a file as an answer to this question. And then I'll indicate that I want the parent to upload the file in either a PDF or an image. Okay. I can even indicate that I want the parent to upload a drawing. Okay. And then that is question one. So question one is an example of a preschool type of question. What I did is I uploaded an image of a question, and the parent or the parent would print that out or draw it in a book manually and let the child do it, color it, and then the parent to take a picture of the child's work and upload picture back.
Voice.
Hello.
Okay, I know it's here.
Can you mute yourself?
Okay.
Hello, somebody haven't muted themselves, so you need to mute yourself. Hello, if you can hear me and you haven't put your mic to mute, please put your mic to mute. All right, thank you. So that is an example one of a question which can be used for preschool level. Now, I want to add another question. Let me check my time here. Okay, I'm running out of time. Let me be quick. Okay, so another example of question, this time I'm going to give primary question, and this will be more or less a multiple choice type of question. So I'll click on this plus sign here, where you see this plus sign. I'll click on that. When I click on it, that adds another question, okay? So this time I'll put, say, primary question example, okay? And this time, I'll actually put, I'll actually want the answers to be a multiple choice question. So, and the multiple choice, I'll select multiple choice. And then the question will be, let's select the verbs in this. Hello, please put yourself to mute. Hello, if you haven't mute your mic, please mute it.
Sorry. What is that here now? Look at how much you.
Okay. All right. Zoom is telling me I'm running out of time, so let me be quick. So here, I'll put an example. Select the verb in this list of words. Okay, and I'll put running, sit, I'll say speak, talk, and say chair. Okay, and then I'll put the answers corresponding answer running, speak, talk, chair. Okay, so in this scenario, what the student will need to do is that the student will need to select one of these as the verb in this list. I'll click on this I click on this plus sign again to add another question, and I'll say JHS question example. Okay, and I'll say draw a graph of this equation. Y equals x minus 6. All right, and this time I will want the student to upload the graph that they will draw at home. So I'll put the corresponding answer to be a file upload. So in this scenario, what it means is that the student will draw the graph, a math question, draw a graph, and then also upload the corresponding answer. I can add another JHS question, and I can just say example 2. I can say this is example 1, and this is example 2, and this example 2 I can put say why. I can put, what question should I put? I'll probably put let's say social studies. So I would say explain the water life cycle and draw the corresponding, and draw the an example of the water life cycle. Okay, an example. So in this scenario, what I want is that I want the student to type all the answer here. Okay, as far as I won't say draw. Let me remove the draw and just want the student to just explain. I want the student to type or explain the water life cycle from, from the ground to the atmosphere, back to the ground, etc. So these are different types of questions that I've mixed here. Now, the question here you might be asking yourself is, how do we get these questions to the parent or to the student? I can preview. So here I'm designing the questions. I want to show you how the questions will look like by clicking on this eye here. It's called preview. The eye here, I click on it, and it will show you how the students will answer it. And then when I look at the questions, I realize that, I don't know, when the student answers, I won't know which student provided which answer. So I need to put some questions that are related to collecting the student's name. So I'll go back to my question here and my forms here, and then I'll click question. And rather this time, I'll move this question up. So what I'm doing is, let me show you what I'm doing. You see these 6 dots here on this new question? When you click and hold that, you can move it up. Okay, so I'm moving that question to the very top. And here, and I'll say, enter your student ID. And then I'll change the answer to short answer. Okay, and then I'll add, which I want the answer to be a number. So here, see it says number text length. I'll select number. So that means the student ID have to be a number. And then I'll add another question. Okay, enter your student name. And here, I want the answer to be a short answer also, okay? But I want it to be a text, okay? So I'll make both of these required. So now when I go back to preview, now I'll see that, okay, the first two questions are for the student to enter his or her ID and to enter his or her name. These two information, the teacher will use that to identify which student provided what answers to these questions, all right? Now, next thing I'll do is that I want to connect this to what is called a Google Sheet, okay? So I'll click at the top here, it says responses. I'll click on that. And then you see this icon here, it says create spreadsheet. What I'm doing here is that I am connecting the Google form to a Google Sheet so that when every student provide their answer, all their answers will be stored in one file, which will be the Google Sheet. And think of the Google Sheet as like an Excel, okay? So when I click on this, it will create the Google Sheet. It says create, and then it will open it up. And you will look, when you look, see it, it's pretty much an Excel, right? So what you're looking at here is it creates columns, and each of the column is a question. It's a question on my Google form. So when a student completes their homework, this homework, each of these questions, all their answers will be filled in as a row for each student. So let's go here, and then let me demonstrate how the student, when the student completes the form, how it will look like. So I'll go here, and then I'll put my student ID. So I'll say my student ID is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then my student name is, say, Jeff Bamba, okay? So in this question, which is a drawing, the parent will take a picture of the child's drawing, and the parent will upload. So the parent will click on this where it says add file, and the parent clicks on that. The parent can select the picture. So for now, I'll just upload any picture. I don't have, let me find a picture that I can upload. So I'll just upload a picture, any picture, okay? Assuming this is the picture that the child drew and the parent have taken a picture of it. So I'm uploading a picture as an answer to question, the preschool question, which I have uploaded here. This question, the student will then answer, says, what's it? The student will click on running, right? So the student can only select one of the answers. And there's a JHS question. The student will draw the equation, sorry, the graph. Excuse me, will draw the graph in your graph book and take a picture. The parent can take a picture or the student can take a picture, and then they'll upload. So again, I'll upload the graph the student drew. And again, I'll upload just any picture, okay? I just upload this picture, all right? And I click upload, and it uploads the picture. And then the last question is a question where the semantic. All right, so the student will type their corresponding answer here, which will be water starts from the ground, from rivers, ground, water, and goes to the atmosphere and rain back down. Okay, so here is just an example. And the student will, or the parent will click on submit. So I'll add another question, the JHS question. I will go to the JHS question and upload a graph image. So I can do graph. I can just search for graph, the graph image, and then upload the graph image to that particular JHS math equation here. So looking at this, right, this is how the parent or the student will answer the question, right? You have 3 questions, right, I believe, or 4 questions. One is a preschool question. The student or the parent will provide an answer by uploading a picture. The second type of question, which is a multiple choice type of question, the student will answer the question directly online on the Google form. You have another type of question, which is the graph question. Again, the response or the answer to that question is an image of a graph, which I have uploaded here. And then you have a third question, which is more or less like an essay type of question, where the student will type their answer. So this gives you a clear idea in terms of the different options of how you can create answers, how you can create questions online for students to provide an answer to. So for now, I'll click on submit to submit as a student. All right, so I filled in my name here, student ID 1234, student name Jeff Barber, and I'll click submit. So the student is submitting their homework or exercise online. And then I'll go to my Google Sheet. This is the Google Sheet that I connected to my questions, all right? So for now, you see here, it has this timestamp, which is the date and time the student responded. It just has the student ID. I put the student ID 123, the student name, and the first question, which was a preschool question. It puts a link to the image that the parent uploaded. So when I click on this, you see the image, okay? This is the image the parent uploaded. So now, the second question was a list of verbs, and the student had to provide an answer to provide one answer. So the question was, select the verb in this list of words: running, speak, talk, chair. I selected running. The JHS question was a mixture. One was a graph equation, okay? It was a graph equation question here. So when I click on this, I can see the answer the parent uploaded, which is a graph. All right, so that's a graph question for the JHS3. And then there was another question, which was explain the water life cycle, okay? And this is the response that I provided. Water starts from the ground, rivers, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you see that in this example that I'm showing you here, every student's response or answers to this question, this form that I created here, is going to be stored into the Google Sheet. And it will put every student's name and their answers for each of the questions. You might be wondering, how would the parent receive this question, okay? So there are multiple ways to send in this form to the parent, okay? There are multiple ways to do that. First option is that I'll click on here where it says send, the upper right corner here, it says send. I'll click on that. If all your parents have email addresses, you can put all your parents' email address, just copy that, paste it here, and send it to them in an email. But really, in this part of the world, you know, it's not realistic. A lot of parents doesn't have email, unfortunately, even though it's part of life in this modern life that we live in today. The other option is to click on this icon here, which is a link, okay? You click on that, and then it creates a link for you, all right? Now I can click on this box here where it says shorten the link. I'll click on that, and it gives me a shorter link. What I'll do is that I'll copy this link, click on this one, it says copy, I'll copy that. And then what I'll do is I'll send this link to parents through SMS, okay? So I'll now share our InfoView app. I'll go to our InfoView app. And then what I'll do is that I will log in to the InfoView app and then send this link to parents. So what I'll do is that this is the InfoView app, okay? I have, I go to classroom management and then go to notifications, okay? When I go on notifications, excuse me, I keep getting alerts here on my phone. I'll go to notifications and then I'll click on select classroom. It shows me the list of classes, okay? And I'll select sales class. When I select sales class, it shows me all the students in the sales class. And I'll select all students, okay? And then I will click OK. And then I'll select where it says select notification type. Click on that and I'll say homework. I'll select homework. And then I'll select the subjects that are included in this homework. So I click on this one, it says select subject course. And then I'll select, for example, I'll say math, because the example that I did had math in there, right? And I click on add subject to add another subject. And then I'll select another subject. So in this case, I'll select, let me see if I can see science, okay? And then add another subject, which I'll say creative arts, okay? And I want the student to return this homework by Friday. So I'll select Friday 17. And then what the system does is I'll click here where it says additional details. The additional details section is where I'll put the link. So I'll click additional details, okay? And then I click here and then just paste the link here and then click OK. Now, all I have to do is I just click send. And then I say, yes, I want the message to be sent to parents. Send, yes. And then it will send the exercise that is online, it will send it to parents. So the parents will receive the exercise in SMS, and when they click on the link in the SMS, it automatically opens up the form, which will allow the child to even do the exercise on the phone if the parent doesn't have a computer at home. All the Google Forms that I'm showing you, every child or every person can do the exercises on the phone. You don't necessarily have to have a computer to open the Google form, all right? So this exercise gives you an example of how to create your work in terms of exercises, homework, and even exams, all right? So if I want to conduct an exam, if I want to convert this to an exam, I can easily do that. There's a feature that you have to add into this form. It's called Gamify. So what I'll do is that I'll click here. Let me go here. I'll click on this upper right-hand corner. You see these three dots, it says more. I'll click on it. And I want to put a time on how long the student should spend to do this exam online. I'll click on add-ons, which gives me the ability to add a feature called Gamify. And then I will then search for that feature, okay? So now it's loading, and I'll click here, so it says search apps. I'll click Gamify, and it gives me that option. And I'll say, click on Gamify.me to install it on my Google form. I'll say individual install, and I'll click on continue. What I'm doing is that I'm adding the Gamify application to my Google account first, okay? And then after adding to my Google account, I'll add it to my Google form, okay? And then after adding to my Google form, I will set the time that I want to allow the students to use to do the exam. So here, I've installed it on my account. I want to add it to this Google form, which is the next step. I click on add-ons, which is this arrow looking thing here. And I click on Gamify. And then I'll click on configure. All right, so it brings it up. That will allow me to configure. Configure means that, enable means turn it on, okay? So I'm turning it on for this particular form by clicking on this enable add-on for this form. Click it. Now after clicking it, that will add it to this form. And the next step is that I want to set a timer, okay? So to set the timer, I will go to, let it finish adding, okay? It says add-on enabled. Okay, great. So I'll now go to a new tab here, and I'll put Gamify. And this is where you set the timer for the question. So now you see here my preschool question, primary question, JHS question. I need to create a timer on it. So I'll create test and I'll put my email address and .com. And here is where I'm setting the time. So it's timer duration. I want to allow 15 minutes for the student to be able to do this. And I'll click create. And I will, instead of the first time I sent this link, okay? I sent this link through the InfoView application. But because I want to make this an exam and I want to make it time, I won't send this link from the form. Instead, I'll send this link here where it says copy URL. This is the link that I'll send. So this time, I'll actually send the link through WhatsApp, okay? Instead of through the InfoView Sims application, I'll send it through WhatsApp. So I'll send here, I'll put the link instead of this. I'll put the link here and send it to myself. So what I'm going to do is that I am going to go to my phone, just so that you see the form opening on the phone. This question is opening a phone. So I'll go to my phone, which is connected to this computer, so that you can see what I'm going to do there. So I'll click and share my phone. So I'm going to my phone here. So instead of now, what you're seeing is the InfoView application. I'll minimize that. Okay, and then instead I'll open the form. I'll go to WhatsApp. Okay, so I'll go to WhatsApp and opening the form here and click on this link. And I click on this link, you see that it will open the form on my phone. It says preschool question JHS primary example for JBAM 15 minutes. This form will attend it to blah, blah, blah. So the parent will click on the form, and now you see that the form will open on the form. But this time, instead of it being on limit time, you see a clock. You see at the top here, you see a clock counting down. So when it runs down to 0, the form will prevent the student from submitting the questions. Okay, so now I see the form that I did now opens on the phone, where the child can actually answer all the questions on a phone rather than on a computer. So the parent doesn't necessarily have to have a computer to be able to allow the child to do the work. The work can be done even on a phone, because the example that I did using my computer browser, the same answers can be done here. I can put an email address here, and I can put my student ID 54321, and I can put my child's name, which is John Adams. Okay, I can answer this question by uploading a file. All right, and that will allow me to pick the picture that I took with my phone, upload it. Okay, and I can also do everything that I need to do with those questions. So that is an example of how you can use the Google Docs, okay, and the Google Forms to be able to provide an online lesson. Okay, both of these Google Doc, both of the Google Doc and the Google Form is a feature on the G Suite or the Google Productivity Suite that you can use. And so long as you have a Gmail account, you can do this absolutely free of charge. Okay, so I hope you learned something today, and I hope this was beneficial to you. Again, word of advice: do something. Don't just sit there and wait, hoping and wishing that the government will allow us to open schools. It's better to have some parents joining you online to start school online rather than just waiting at home, because Even if it's 10 parents, it's better than 0. All right. And I hope I've covered everything here. If there's something that I didn't cover, let me know, and I can cover that here. The advanced version of this class will start next week. And that one, we will go more in depth how the Google Forms, you can use Google Forms to actually auto grade the children after they submit their exams, and how InfoView, we have connected the Google Form to our InfoView system. So when the grades are generated, the scores will automatically get recorded into InfoView Sims as part of the child's continuous assessment, so that you can use the grades that is generated from the Google Forms into our application, so that you can use that to generate assessment reports and terminal reports or midterm reports as you go along. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing mostly next week, as advanced version of this course. This wraps up the basic version of the course, but we've been doing this since last week. I think last week, Tuesday or so. If you have any questions, you can send them to me. Let me share my email address. You can send me your questions via email to this email address. Okay, so I go to Google Docs here, click Google Doc, and this is my email address, jbamba@idscorpgh.com. Okay, let me maximize it. This is my email address. Okay, if you have any questions, you can contact me at that. If you need a demonstration of our school management application as well, you can send me a WhatsApp at this number, 050-555-6210. Okay, send me a WhatsApp and I can give you a personal demo of how the InfoView application works. Okay, so I hope you keep yourself safe, stay at home, be healthy, and be safe. All right, have a great day, and bye-bye.